and stable transportation system. So speaking of transportation, let's talk about our favorite topic, which is US 30. After the failed plan to add J-turns throughout Columbia City, INDOT worked with the city and other counties along the US 30 corridor to consider the future of the limited access freeway. Now, as has been noted in many newspaper articles and speeches, US 30 maintains a higher vehicular count than many sections of interstate throughout Indiana, as you can see on the chart. A new US 30 coalition was created in late 2015 to start developing a plan to move US 30 toward an interstate-type freeway. Out of that coalition came county groups to focus on how each segment of US 30 could be developed from a local perspective. Without turning this speech into a mini US 30 public input session, because we held 4 of those across the county in the past year, I will just say that the committee worked very hard in trying to take all comments and concerns into consideration. We really appreciated the feedback we received from the public and business stakeholders. In a few weeks, the US 30 Local Planning Committee will be meeting again to review a concept report that will later be available to the public. Again, we know that US 30 is going to change. Without doing any upgrades at all, the traffic count is supposed to increase by 8,500 vehicles per day over the next 20 years. Now, for the safety of our residents and the movement of commerce, I strongly urge the legislature and INDOT to develop US 30 into an interstate-type highway. A new development occurred just this past Tuesday when the City Council approved a resolution to bond for $1 million toward the construction of the Russell and Evelyn Fall Aquatics facility. I want to thank the City Council for their continued support of this quality of life project, as well as the Park Board for their direction and focus on the project. However, there really have been 2 main individuals that have continued to push this project forward, and that's Park Director Mark Green and City Council Member Tad Varga. They, along with assistance from Community Foundation Director September McConnell and grant writer Lori Shipman, have persevered in what looked like a challenging fundraising environment. Yet, as per the usual with our community, citizens stepped up in a big way, contributing over $3.4 million toward the new facility. Special thanks goes to the DECO Foundation, the Russell and Evelyn Fall family, the Whitley County Community Foundation, Lutheran Health Network, and so many of you who maybe bought a brick or simply donated cash to the project. The facility is still in design, but I'm happy to report that we've submitted an application for an $820,000 grant to regional cities for the final mile of funding. If approved, construction for this community gym could break ground as early as late July. The project, complete with water slides, a vortex water feature, and children's play area, will truly enhance our offerings to residents of all ages throughout the summer months. Furthermore, the project also includes an ice skating rink to allow for further programming in the winter months. I don't know if you can tell how excited I am, but it doesn't come anywhere near as close as excited as Mark is. Also recently, the Parks Department once again hosted the Father-Daughter Dance, and once again it was a huge success. In past years, ticket sales would be complete weeks before the one-night event, leaving many daughters disappointed and fathers in the doghouse. Now this year, the Parks Department expanded the event to 2 nights, and surprise, surprise, sold out both nights. Over 700 tickets were sold for this annual event, and I personally look forward to when I can get to take Little Red to the extraordinary event. There she is. So, lots of great things are happening in the city. Lots of really positive progress is being made in our city. Right now, the Economic Development Corporation lists 54 different job opportunities for current and future residents. Our unemployment rate is below 4%. Employers are looking to import workers into the community to fill vacant positions that are critically needed. To say our economy is on a roll is an understatement. Now, as positive as this is, however, it is also a challenge. In order to continue economic growth and raise wages among our residents, we have to do 2 different things. 1, develop talent, and 2, attract talent. You see, the biggest, most ominous issue for the future of our city is population growth. Much of the data I'll be quoting in the next couple of minutes will be from the Indiana University Public Policy Institute, people much smarter than me. Now, here's the good news. Whitley County is projected to grow at or above 5% between now and 2040. As you can see, about half the state fits into that category, or remaining at that plus or minus 5%, with a portion of the states losing more than 5%. So we're making good strides toward the goal I set last year, which is by 2025 our population will be at or above 10,000 residents. However, even with the lofty goal, we will still face a monumental challenge that's being worked on statewide as well as here in Northeast Indiana. That challenge is retirements. Now, some of you may be salivating over the idea that retirement may be around the corner. Some of you may be preparing for it now, while some of you may see it like Star Wars in a galaxy far, far away. Yet for leaders in our community, it should scare the life out of us. The Indiana University Public Policy Institute reports that between now and 2030, Indiana will see our senior population, 65 plus, go from 13.9% to over 20% of the state's population. And rural areas like Whitley County could see this population be closer to 25% of the total county population. That means that a large amount of individuals will be exiting the workforce. It also means we have to do a much better job of attracting youth and families into our community and our city in order to replace those individuals in those job positions. Ball State University completed a study a year ago when they compiled a lot of data of why people chose to live where they live. One of the most interesting parts of the survey, next slide please. One of the most interesting parts of the survey showed a monumental increase in the effect that schools and public services has on location selection. Now, ask yourself how critical the Columbia City High School project was and is to the future of our community. In their policy summary, the briefing states regions wishing to see increased tax revenues would more quickly achieve that goal by successfully attracting residential developments. Now, my focus, as it has been since 2012, will continue to be building a community that not only retains talent, i.e. young families and individuals, but also works diligently to attract talent to our community. The new paradigm, according to Ball State, is that job creation does not necessarily lead to population growth. Instead, and I'm paraphrasing here, luring talent through quality of life amenities with a value-added mindset will spur job growth. Now, this is heavy stuff, I get it, but it's critical and crucial to the future of Columbia City. Drew Klasik from the Indiana University Public Policy Institute put it more poignantly. We have a choice to either embrace change and diversity or manage our decline. I'm going to say that one more time. We have a choice to either embrace change and diversity or manage our decline. Who wants to manage decline? Columbia City continues to grow because we've chosen to embrace the change that's occurring. Yet we can't allow ourselves to rest on our laurels. We have to continue building a community that's attractive for current and future generations. So, here's how we're going to overcome this lofty challenge. First, we can't forget the basics. Roads and utilities can make or break a community, so we'll continue to make improvements and upgrades to our water, electric, stormwater, and sewer utilities while balancing the cost of the ratepayers. We'll focus on upgrading roads to accommodate additional traffic volumes and work to replace outdated infrastructure. We'll look toward future growth and plan expansions that will serve future residents and businesses. Second, we'll focus on quality of life projects like completing the aquatics facility project, expand our parks in size and offerings, and extend our trails. These goals will not only put us in a more marketable position to retain and attract talent, but will also keep Whitley County in the top 10 list of healthiest counties in Indiana. We'll continue improving the walkability of our community through sidewalk enhancement and 50/50 program. And we will put a renewed focus on our downtown to work alongside business and building owners to improve the look and feel of the heart of our community. Third, we'll focus on growing our public safety to keep up with the growth patterns that are occurring in our community. This means that we have to make sure that we're able to adequately fund the police and fire and dispatch sections of local government. We have to be innovative in our community policing approach and continue to provide better fire coverage to our community. We have to make sure that there's a dispatcher available to answer a resident's call in times of crisis. If Columbia City has an itch, it's that we're a safe community. Fourth, we need to consider expansion of our city boundaries. Columbia City is bursting at the seams with little room for companies to grow and expand in the city limits. We have a 1.2% growth rate in the city since 2010, compared to 0.3% in the county and negative percentages in the other Whitley County municipalities. In the past 3 decades, we've averaged a 20% growth rate in the city limits alone. These stats are not to put any other municipality down, okay? A rising tide raises all ships. However, we have to recognize that residents are choosing to live in the city, and we should accommodate those choices by providing additional land inside the city limits for development and growth. The comprehensive plan encourages strategic growth that focuses around the new high school location and in the commercial zones around US 30. At the end of the day, we have to make sure that whatever occurs is done with plenty of input from future residents and county officials. Fifth, we'll continue focusing on bringing fiber to the home to enhance technological capabilities for residents of all ages. Now, if technology runs our world today, imagine how important it's going to be in 10 years. This critical and strategic investment is so important to our future. Of course, it's also important that we balance the needs of this technology with the interest of our taxpayers. I look forward to providing this service to our citizens in the near future. I don't know if we'll be able to accomplish it by my big goal of last year, which was by the end of 2017. But I do think it's possible to complete this project by the end of 2018. Sixth, we'll create a neighborhood beautification grant program where neighbors can come together for a transformational project, put some skin in the game, and the city will